like the Cavs, we gotta let them know. When Cotton with a ship for Beezy. When Cotton with a ship for Beezy. Ballin' like the Cavs, we gotta let them know.
You are now locked in with Antoine Spivey. This is EnDaZone Sports.
Well, happy Monday, everybody. This is your boy, Kales. How everybody doing out there? Welcome to another edition of the EnDaZone Sports, presented by Diva Spivey Media Network. Also available on YouTube. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I have a great show lined up for y'all tonight. Let's get right into it. The first order on topic is the NFL. The Browns versus Vikings. The Browns went overseas against the Vikings. The Vikings came out victorious on that Jordan Addison touchdown pass for Carson Wentz. But the Browns did show some heart. The Browns did play well on offense. Their offense, leading by Gabriel, showed some kind of life. Quinshon Judkins is our running back of the future as he rushed for 110 yards. I hated that touchdown came back, and we really needed that touchdown. That run by Quinshon was really good. Then Gabriel showed poise. The Minnesota Vikings was trying to throw the kitchen sink at him at times. Sometimes they wasn't, but he really stood in the pocket. When he needed a rush, when he needed to have his mobility, he did his thing by moving out of the pocket, throwing darts. I mean, he really had a good timing with David Njoku, which was very good because we have not seen a signing from him. Harold Fanning had that awful block, awful holding call on him, and that would kill us. But other than that, the Browns played well. I am excited for this offense. I'm excited to see what Gabriel gonna do against the Pittsburgh Steelers, which is another team who like to blitz. Let's see if our running game gonna continue on this pace with Judkins. It was a Jerome Ford sighting. He caught some passes, really ran the ball well. Jerry Jeudy still has the drops. I don't know what's going on with Jeudy. He did this last year, but when another quarterback came in, he picked it up. Unfortunately, he had that bad drop that cost us a first down, but he came back and made a good catch in the third, fourth quarter. But still, he can't drop the ball, Judy. You have to catch the ball. On the Gabriel, he was 19 or 33 for 198 yards and 2 touchdowns. The 2 touchdown passes was in the red zone, but the 2 passes was on timing. And that's what I was looking for Stefanski to see if his offense has some type of timing and rhythm. And the rhythm of Gabriel was great with the tight ends and the receivers. The running game is coming along. Now, on the defensive side, the defense shouldn't have not gave up that touchdown. I don't know what happened on that play with Jordan Addison. Was that Denzel Ward fault or was that Ronnie Hickman fault? It seemed like there was in some type of cover, some type of zone, which the safety supposed to come over and Denzel supposed to just play that zone. But Carson Wentz saw it and he made a perfect pass on that, which cost us the game. But the defense did play well, held Jordan Mason to only 52 yards, but gave up that 1 touchdown, but also caused a fumble. It was a great play by Shelby Harris when he hit the ball, knocked the ball out of Jordan Mason's hand, and we recover it. But Justin Jefferson, we had to contain him. We didn't contain him. He had over 123 yards. Yes, I've been saying that from game before. I felt that Gabriel gave us that youthfulness that we needed in the offense. I also stated his mobility. His mobility was key in this game because, as you can see, he can elude the pass rusher better than what Flacco was doing. Plus, his timing and how he gets the ball out quickly also helped the wide receivers and the tight ends to catch the ball. But that was a great, great, great plan by Stefanski to get the ball out of Gabriel's hand really quick and run it with Krishan Jenkins. They used mostly multiple tight end sets this game. They protected Gabriel good. I think he only got hit a couple of times. I think he was sacked once in this game. He did not turn over the ball, which is great because, Flacco was giving up two interceptions a game. But Gabriel kept the ball to us and not to the other team. The other thing I didn't like, though, is that we was 3 of 15 on third down, so we cannot sustain drives. We have to sustain drives. I would expect them to open a playbook probably in the next 2 or 3 games to see where Gabriel mind is. But I seen against Pittsburgh, I seen them doing more rollouts, more read option to try to stop the pass rush from coming. I seen them running the ball more to get Gabriel comfortable. So we might be seeing more two tight end sets, maybe 3. We might go to the jumbo. We might try to do play action pass off of that. But I feel like they're gonna open the playbook because this game really showed how Gabriel has grasped the playbook. He really did grasp the playbook. Gabriel was doing really nice things in the pocket. It was some false starts, but he managed the game. He did not turn over the ball. When he saw people, he didn't think, he just threw the ball, which was good because normally a rookie quarterback will hold on to the ball to see what happened. But when he saw his first read was open, if that wasn't open, he got off his first read real quick, went to the second read. If the second read wasn't open, then he either scrambled a little bit or he threw the ball away to live another down, which that's what Stefanski wants in his offense. He do not want you to force the ball, live to fight another day, get another chance. Maybe it's 2nd and 10. We go back in the drawing books. We run another play. But the defense, Browns defense, y'all have to get off the field. Even though the Vikings are 3-9 on third down, but it was crucial plays that wasn't made to get off the field. Carson Wentz had a lot of third down completion, like 3rd and 9s and 3rd and 7s, going to Justin Jefferson, where everybody in the world knew that just Jefferson was getting the ball. The Gabriel can help the Browns defense by controlling the clock, meaning that sustaining that you can't go 3 of 15. You just can't go 3 of 15 on third down. You have to convert at least 50% of your third down, or at least more than 50% to sustain drives, so you get your defense chance to recuperate and to be violent and have that pass rush. We had 3 sacks this game, and I think Myles Garrett really wasn't involved in this because Darius Shaw is a very good left tackle, and they was blocking him, doubling team him. Mason Graham once again had a good game, even though they don't show in the box. Schwessler had a good game too, but we have to have that ball. The defense got to take away the ball, got to get the ball back to the offense. Gabriel have to sustain these drives. Stefanski hasn't called a great game. Other than that, the Vikings game was good. Unfortunately, we gave up that touchdown pass to Jordan Addison. I hated that, even though he was on my fantasy team, and I needed it at that time. But, it was my birthday, too, and I wanted the Browns to win. Unfortunately, they didn't win. But, hey, on the bright spot, they played well. I am excited to see what Pittsburgh going to bring us. I'm excited to see how they're going to play against that Steelers defense. The Steelers is coming off a bye week, so maybe we could get them a little rusty. Aaron Rodgers probably went on his little sabbatical retreat. Maybe he forgot how to throw the ball and throw us a couple of interceptions. But great game, Browns. Y'all did the special teams. The kicker is doing very, very good now by making his kicks. Those kicks outside of punt return is good. All right, on to the next topic. We're going to move on to the next one. Browns, great game. Unfortunately, y'all lost, but we're moving on to the next topic. Broncos had the Eagles there for first. I called it. I knew it. I called it. The Eagles been winning by the on a 10-10-10. The Eagles are a very good team, but they are in a turmoil. They is fussing. Both their wide receivers is getting into it with. I'm not really getting into it with, but showing their frustration over not getting the ball. AJ Brown been saying this since last year. Jalen Hurts have been not delivering the football well. Saquon Barkley last year by this year almost had almost 405 yards. Saquon right now is not running the ball well. They're not giving them the ball. I think the Eagles are in a identity crisis. They don't know what's going on. They don't know who they are offensive wise. They missing a part of their offensive line. Lane Johnson went out last game but came back. He was hurt. But what Denver did though, what the Broncos, but the Eagles need to fix that, the wide receiver position. They need to get either have to run the ball well, or they have to determine what they want to do with AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith had a really good game this week. He caught about 8 passes for 100-something yards. So now they got Devontae Smith involved. Now they got to get AJ Brown involved. Over to the Broncos, how the Broncos played was exactly how Denver played. They used the Joker. They used Ingram as their little Joker. Bo Nix was passing the ball really well. They ran the ball with J.K. Dobbins. And you know that defense, they ran the ball well with J.K. Dobbins. Offensively, they was making sure Courtney Sutton got involved with the ball. Their defense was playing well. Their defense is their bread and butter. I feel like their defense is their bread and butter until Bo Nix and J.K. Dobbins and Courtney Sutton come around. It get more consistent. Right now, the offense is not playing at a consistent level. They have their ups and downs, but Sutton and Bo Nix got that chemistry going. Now he got to get that chemistry with his old college mate, Troy Franklin, to get him more involved in the game early on, so everybody get to touch the ball. R.J. Harvey right now is behind J.K. Dobbins. You might not see him as much because he's a rookie, and J.K. Dobbins have been holding that down. But the Broncos played well. They beat the Eagles. The Eagles need to really think what they have to do to get themselves together. But hands out to the Broncos. The Broncos won 21-17. It was a great victory for the Broncos after they've been losing. Man, they lost a couple of close games to the Colts on field goals, and they gave up games. They didn't give up this game. They played to win, and the Broncos win. Now on to the coaching. Sean Payton have to develop more game plans for Ingram so he can be more involved, because that's why he came over to play that role, that Joker role, like when he had Tyson Hill and all back in New Orleans. But right now the tight end position is not playing well. The defense is playing okay. I mean, they still ain't the Denver Broncos of last year, but they still got the defensive player of the year, Patrick Surtain, locking down other people, wide receivers, and Nick Bonito and Zach Allen is trying to get to the passer. But the Eagles and the Broncos, that was a hell of a game. Game of the week, I will almost put my place on it, but we will talk about that later on. I think the difference with the run game from Philly from last year is the volume. I don't think Saquon is getting that many rushes. I don't know if they trying to hold them for later on down the line, or they really don't want him to get hurt, because he only had 6 carries in this game. When you ever saw Saquon have more catches than his rushes? And I think once again the Eagles are in one of those identity crisis. New coordinator, don't know how he want to coordinate. He don't know. Kellen Moore was the coordinator, and Kellen Moore did a better job of balancing out, even though it didn't seem like he balanced, but it was balanced more. Right now, the new offensive coordinator, which he is his first year, has no type of rhythm, has no type of identity. Once the Eagles figure out their identity, then they can go back playing Eagles ball. But right now, they have none. They have no identity. Yeah, Hurst did only throw. That's once again, he came out throwing the ball. He had over 280 yards. And once again, that's an offensive coordinator thing. The coordinator dictates everything. The players play. Your coaches have to get you in position to play and to make plays. Right now, Kevin, I'm going to try to pronounce his name, Kevin Pertulio is not getting his players, his big-time players, in position to win games or in position to do great things. Kellen Moore, even though A.J. Brown was fussing, but at least Kellen Moore could put A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert in position to win the game. This was more about the Eagles losing because the Eagles have not lost a game in over 2 months, like almost 2 months. They was 20-1 coming into the Broncos game, and they won. And how they lost? They lost it because they don't have no identity. They come out throwing the ball, and then the second half it just disappeared. Bo Nix and them started getting their rhythm in. The defense started not producing, so they have to get their identity so they can win these games. I told everybody that they was winning these games on the skin of the chin. You cannot continue to win these games by blocked field goals and a hopefulness of them getting an interception or a turnover in a crucial minutes, because these teams are good. And I don't see the Eagles trying to win a shootout because they might not win a shootout. Jalen Hurts gonna play in big moments, but right now it's something up with Jalen Hurts I just can't put my finger on. I don't know if it's a confidence thing. I don't know if he don't want to throw. I don't know if he don't got that chemistry with A.J. Brown before. It seemed like that one time they had that little smack in their friendship. I'm just speculating. I don't know. I'm just speculating. But their friendship is not cool anymore. Everybody's not happy. And when you are not happy and, you keep winning can cover everything, but winning is not always the be when you are an athlete that's trying to accomplish your legacy, and A.J. Brown is trying to accomplish a legacy. He got his Super Bowl ring. He got his money. Now, unfortunately, he want to pad his stats. And Jalen Hurts probably like, man, look, I'm all about winning. I don't give a damn. However we win, I'll pass for -2 yards, and we hand off the ball 45 times to Saquon. As long as we win, I don't care. But this loss was on this loss. It would meant more on this loss, but not taking away from the Broncos. The Broncos came in there and took it from the Eagles. Bo Nix and them took it from them. No, I don't think so. I always have said that the Lions are the best team in the NFC. The Lions are the team to beat. If they stay healthy on the defensive side and the offensive side, the Lions will go to the Super Bowl for the first time in franchise history. But they have to stay healthy. I thought last year they could beat the Eagles. I definitely know this year they could beat the Eagles because nothing has changed from the Lions. Offense is still rolling, and they got two new, one defensive coordinator and one offensive coordinator, and they still rolling. So no, the Eagles are right. The Eagles are right now the number one team because they're the defending champion. But I'm taking the Lions over the Eagles if they play in a NFC title game, because the Lions offensively is better than the Eagles offensively. But once again, the Eagles know how to win under certain conditions because they've been there and done that. But Detroit is a better team. But hold on. But the Detroit is better than the other team. All right, let's go on into our NFL Week 5 recap rundown. All right, my first hold on, let me see. Let me get it together. Hold on. All right, how about them Cowboys? Them Cowboys beating the Jets 37-22. It looked like that might be MVP. I don't know how y'all feel about that, but I think that might be the MVP right now, along with some unnamed person I'm gonna name in a minute. But him and Pickens look like they got that chemistry since CD Lamb is gone. Ferguson, the tight end, is doing his. Once I would like to see once CD come back, how that got transpired. But the person that people are not really talking about that really got that offense is going is Devontae Williams, rushing. You know, the last 2 games he had over 100 yards rushing. On the Jets side of the ball, Justin Fields has to stop turning over the ball. They have to stop turning over the ball. The Jets have to. Justin Fields, you know what you're going to get for Justin Fields, a great rusher. Breece Hall fumbling the ball again. They're the only team in the NFL that hasn't had a turnover from their defense. So their defense need to step up their little game. The next game I have on the NFL Week 5 is the Tennessee Titans versus the Cardinals. Here go another dumb mistake by another I almost called him something, but I'm not going to be that mean. Another stupid mistake by a backup running back who should know where he's standing at. You know, DeMarcado, you know, that was your first time really breaking out. You had a nice little 72-yard run, and then you couldn't just be like, okay, let me just cross over the line. No, you had to flip the ball, and guess what? You cost your team. The Tennessee Titans was 0-4, had nothing going for them. Cam Ward was talking about how trash they was to the media, and y'all helped them out. Tennessee won this game 22-21 on that, and another free. I guess it was meant for Tennessee to win because they got a touchdown off a interception, translating to a fumble. Tyler Lockett jumped on the ball for a touchdown. So if you don't win that game with 2 guys, then you know you not supposed to win that game. But Cards, y'all need to do better. Kyler Murray, you need to give the ball to McBride and Harrison. My next game I'm looking at is the Lions and the Bengals. We know the Lions was going to go ahead and dog walk them, so it's meant really not much to say. But we did have a chase sighting, even though it was in garbage time. At least maybe that can jumpstart Jake Brown and give him some kind of confidence. Washington and the Chargers. Unfortunately, the Chargers is very, very injured right now. Amari Hampton went out with a high ankle sprain. Unfortunately, he won't be back until 4 weeks because they placed him on IR. Washington got Jane Daniels back, and Jane Daniels did his thing, throwing that last touchdown to Deebo Samuel, and they won 27-10. On to the Sunday night game, the New England versus the Buffalo Bills. It looked like we might have a new team emerging in these playoffs. It looked like New England might be one of them teams. You know how Mike Vrabel is coaching. Drake May, his second year, is doing well. We had a Stephon Diggs signing, which was very good for the New England Patriots. They got to get that fumbling by Stevenson together. But they won 23-20 on a last-minute field goal. The Buffalo Bills played really softly. They didn't play their game. They didn't get James Cook involved in much. Josh Allen had an interception and also fumble the ball. I have one more game that I missed. The game of the week, I feel, was the Bucs versus Seattle. Baker, it's a sorry thing when you talk about Baker in Cleveland. Everybody wish Baker was here, but people, I'm going to vouch for this. People really wasn't on Baker because Baker was very inconsistent. I'm a Mayfield fan. I always said Baker should have stayed in Cleveland, but he was inconsistent. This version was not Baker. I wish it was, but they came back and won 38-35. But you had 2 Ohio State wide receivers going at it. You had JSN versus Mbuka, which was a great matchup. That was your NFL Week 5 weekly recap. We're going on to The WNBA Finals. Aja Wilson against the Mercury. That's why I call it. Aja Wilson is the best player. They up 2-0. Game one was a very interesting game. The Mercury came out smoking. They scored 27 points in the first quarter. And then after that, I guess Aja Wilson and Chelsea Gray and all them girls was like, look, enough is enough. And they put a stop to that. In the last 2 quarters of the game, they only scored 24 more points. Alyssa Thompson was in foul trouble. Maybe that why they was doing so. Salabali and Copper had to make more of the scoring, try to take up more of the scoring, and while Alyssa Thompson was trying to deal with Aja Wilson. But game one, they lost 89-86, which was a great game one for the Mercury. Unfortunately, game two, they just got blew out. It was like whatever, game two, Aja Wilson and Chelsea Gray was like, no, I'm taking this. Aja Wilson had 28 points, 14 rebounds in game two. Chelsea Gray did make a record. I'm all about records. I love records. I did not know this. In the finals, only 4 other ladies in the WNBA finals who scored 21. She scored 32 points, but she scored 21 of them points in the third quarter. So she was hot, which pushed the lead up. They beat on 98-71, which pushed the lead up, which gave the cushion that the Ace need. Down 2-0, the Mercury have to play with some heart, which Nick Thibbles, the coach, will get them prepared. They're going back home, so they get to rest in their own bed. They get to see who they significant other ones, their kids, if they have significant ones. The Mercury can go ahead and relax. They only down 2-0. They can come back in that series. They can win this series, but they will have to put more forth effort on trying to stop the Aces from scoring. They have to stop, and they have to score on the other end. Defensive wise, they're gonna be tough because you got 2 great scorers and Aja Wilson and Chelsea Gray. They're gonna be tough. If the Ace win this year, I'll rank them up with right now, I would say the best 2 franchises in the WNBA. If they win, which they are people. I don't know. People know that there was an expansion team back in the day too. So that expansion team got really really quick. When you get Aja Wilson, I see why. But I would have to rank them. With the Minnesota Lynx. With the Lynx, the Lynx got a great organization. When Maya Moore was playing with them, they won 5 of these things. They won 5 WNBA championships. So I put them up with the Lynx, the Minnesota Lynx, and Aces would be my top 2 team. They will give them. I think they was giving Aja got 2. They will give them 3. Wilson got 3. If they win in this, Aja Wilson will have 3. I don't think they got 4 because I remember saying there was only a couple of people with 4 and 3. Cheryl Swoops of the Houston Comets, Cynthia Cooper, Tina Thomas of the Houston Comets. Maya Moore got 4, I think 5 with the Lynx, and yeah, she got 4. And then the other ones got 1 or 2. Deanna Taurasi, Candace Parker, Dixie Leslie, all of them have at least 1 or 2. So this will be her 3rd, which on top of that, if she win that and win the MVP of the finals, she'll be the MVP of the WNBA and the WNBA champion of the finals, which is very good for women's sports. That your WNBA winner will become the finals winner if that would happen. But it's not over. I'm not saying it's over. The Mercury can win this game, but they have to play well. They have to score the ball. They have to play with that intensity like they want to win this. I'm not saying they didn't play the first 2 games, but you cannot allow the Aces just to do what they need to do. You have to push Aja Wilson and Chelsea Gray out out of the box. You have to get her for not rebounding. Her rebounding is the key to them winning. Of course, she's going to score. You can live with that. But you can't live with her getting 14 rebounds and almost 10 to 8 assists and just having her do her way. The Mercury's got a great team. Thompson have to stay out of foul trouble. It's easier said than done, but that's their biggest man. That's the biggest man. Lord, I didn't mean to call her a man, but biggest woman. Oh, that ain't even sound right neither. But anyway, the big girl, that's even worse. But you have to stop from getting in foul trouble, Thompson. Stay out of foul trouble. Make Aja Wilson play ball, play defense. Make her foul you. That's the key. And then we'll see how y'all go. But it's going to be very hard to beat the Aces. The Aces is up 2-0. They did what they needed to do at home. They took care of the home court advantage. Now, if they get one in the Phoenix, this series is over. So, Phoenix, stand up. Y'all need to go to y'all home, protect y'all house, protect y'all home, come back to the Ace at home, at least 2-0. At least y'all need to be 2-2. Because if y'all down 3-1, it's a wrap. I'm sorry, because they not losing at home. They smell blood. It's going to be over. We're done with. So, they need to win. All y'all to do is win, win, win. It's not over yet. I feel it's not over yet. I feel that they might have a 20% chance to win, but I think a 20% chance is good. If they come out game 3, the key to winning game 3 for the Mercury is to get off to that good start, like they did in game 1, but sustain it. Once you get into that great start, continue going. Get that little, but the home crowd have to come out and cheer for them. I mean, if that was my home team, I would cheer for them. I would come out, give them a great standing ovation. Every shot they make, cheer for them. But the key to a great crowd is not when you winning, it's when they down. Cheer even when they down. That's a great sign of fans. I'm calling out the Mercury fans. If there's any Mercury fans out there, even when they get down, cheer, because they're gonna need that. Because their confidence will soar when they hear somebody cheering for them instead of booing them. Nobody don't like that. So if they get down, cheer. But Mercury come out fighting, because this is y'all season, and y'all don't want to go home and wonder what if, like everything. Yeah, I know. I am Mr. Positivity. I mean, no negative energy ever at Kale's house. Even though it might seem negative, you always can turn something positive. You can also turn something negative into positive. That's what I was always told. So they need that positivity. And let's go, Mercury. Make it this a series. Let's go. Up next, we're going to talk about these Ohio State Buckeyes, who remain number 1, which is easy to see because the Buckeyes are playing tremendously football right now. I don't see no team in college football right now who is on the level of Ohio State. I mean, I might be a little biased because I'm an O.State fan, but really, do you think Miami can beat them? I don't think Miami can beat them. I don't think nobody like Notre Dame can beat them. I don't think any team, when Ohio State is playing the way they playing right now, we got the best wide receiver in the nation, bar none, and nobody can. I don't care if you talk about Ryan Williams, Alabama, the other wide receivers who up there. He's not Jeremiah Smith, and then we got another wide receiver that people don't know is Cardale Tate, which had a lovely game this Saturday against Minnesota. But Ohio State is the best team in the nation. I hope they understand that the only way they gonna lose if they beat themselves. That's the only way they gonna lose. Jan Sayan, the quarterback, freshman / redshirt freshman, sophomore, doing a great job. I like to see him. Now they opening up. They really open. Brian Hartline's opening up. I was like, yeah, about time. Get that young man some type of confidence, so you know when it comes down to you can open a playbook. Right now, I know we playing these run-of-the-mill teams. I know Texas was supposed to be good. It look like Texas not good. It seems like, but I liked it how he came out against Washington. His first game in a hostile crowd on the road, and being a redshirt freshman, did a great job. He did a great job by controlling the offense, by doing great things, getting the ball to Jeremiah Smith. Now he moved on to his first road. His first road game was good. Now we got to see when his first Big Ten test gonna be. Unfortunately, I feel like the very first Big Ten test gonna be against Michigan. That's in November, so I think we just gonna sweep past these people to Michigan. I don't think Michigan is that. Yeah, I know. I'll try not to. But it's a coping mechanism. But I will stop saying sometimes. But no. But I feel as though that Michigan is going to be the team that Ohio State have to beat in the Big Ten this year, because how they beat us last year. And I feel that's the game that we have to play our game and not their game, for the simple fact that every year we play Michigan, we try to smile them, and we are not that type of football team. We are a team. Oh, I ain't know. My bad. I thought I was saying. Okay. Yeah, but let's talk about the Ohio State defense for a second. The Ohio State defense and Matt Patricia is doing a great job, led by Caleb Downs, the safety. They getting great pressure. They getting great pressure on the football field. I mean, Matt Patricia everybody know Matt Patricia was an NFL coach, was a great defensive coordinator in the New England. Well, I ain't gonna say great, but he was okay as a defensive coordinator in New England. Everybody knew that Bill Belichick ran that. His coaching stint wasn't great in the head coach, but he with college kids. And with college kids, you can teach them a little bit more than pros. With pros, they make big money. College kids making money now, but not as much. But with college kids, they like the enthusiasm of doing something new. So Matt Patricia brought in new things to Ohio State defense that Caleb Downs and the front four is doing great, penetrating balls, making a great thing defensive-wise in stopping the run and stopping the pass. This game, for example, Minnesota only had 168 total yards and only scored 3 points. The last couple of games, I think Texas only scored 7. I think the only high-scoring game was Washington. I think if I'm not mistaken, Washington was the only team that scored more than 20 points against us this year. I know for a fact. I think we blew out. We blew out other teams like 70, but I think Washington was the only team that scored over 20 points this year, and that was a road game. So so it was kind of hard bringing that new system to the road game to Washington, which won 22 straight at that time, which Washington was 3-0. But the defense is playing well. They need to keep that up. Special teams, our kickers it seems like, man, how long has Phelan been there? It seems like he's been there for 20 years. And he only been there for 3 or 4. And he'll join, I think. But it seems like he's been there for years. To the Minnesota game, the O.State defense dominated Minnesota. Minnesota can do nothing with Ohio State defense. They only held them to 3 points. I would like to see us get more turnovers. That's what I like to see. I like us to get more turnovers, but that's the only thing I'm complaining about. Other than that, the key to winning football games is defense. You stop them from scoring, and your offense is scoring, which our offense is scoring. Jan Sand is doing a great job cornerbacking that team. Our running game is a little soft right now, I feel. But I mean, Bo Jackson, CJ Donaldson, and peoples are doing their best. I think we can run the ball a little bit better. We ain't have Bo Jackson and them that ain't had 100-yard rushing game yet. I'll have to look that up. I might be wrong, but don't quote me on that. But I feel as though I ain't seen that dominant running game like we had last year with Henderson and Junkin. Even though they don't two NFL quality backs, as you can see, I don't think right now we don't have a quality. If I was nitpicking a little bit on the offensive side, I don't think we have that quality NFL running back that he'll surefire run NFL. Maybe Pitt Peoples or maybe Bo Jackson or C.J. Donaldson can be that, but they only use C.J. Donaldson on the goal line, which like another Jerome Bettis type or another, but they don't use the running game as much. So Jay and Satan is throwing the ball really, really well. But hey, you play to your strength. Your strength is the wide receiver and the tight end. We don't talk about our tight end. Our tight end is nice. He catches a lot of passes too. You have Jeremiah Smith on the other side. He catches a lot of passes, and he takes away from the other people's defense. And finally, they saw that Cornell Tate can be a contributor this game by him getting 165 yards, 8 catches, and a touchdown. Jeremiah Smith again had 2 touchdowns, and he only had 7. He only had 55 yards, but them 2 touchdowns are the key to everything that the Ohio State. If I was nitpicking, that's the only thing I would nitpick will be. Buckeyes keep winning. Buckeyes are the number 1 team in the nation. On to Penn State. Penn State. Whoa. Penn State. James Franklin. I'm going to bring out a stat for y'all. They're going to blow y'all mind about James Franklin. James Franklin been there for a minute now. And hold on, James Franklin been there for a minute. James Franklin been there for a minute now. This stat is crazy. James Franklin is 15-28 against top 25 ranked teams. He also 1-10 against Ohio State. He also is 4-21 against other top 10 teams. What this means that Penn State coach has not have a good record against quality players, quality teams, which is easy. Is that what I said? If he was an NFL coach with that type of record, no matter how good he is with the kids and which is good, but it's a sport, it's a competitive sport. And I'm never going to advocate nobody get fired or anything, losing their job, because that's not right. But in this instance, oh yeah, he need to go. You just lost 2 straight. You lost to an 0-4 team in UCLA that have nothing going for them right now. You just made that year. Y'all supposed to have been the mighty Nittany Lions, all right out, everything going for y'all, and y'all laid an egg. Drew Allen was supposed to be one of the top rated quarterbacks that's supposed to be coming out of the NFL this year, and maybe a Heisman Trophy hopeful, is not playing at the level that he was last year. Why is that? James Franklin. James Franklin is the key to everything. Your coach is the one who puts your buttons. You play like your coach, and your coach lackadaisical. He don't have no type of fire under him. He does not have. He's too comfortable, meaning that he knows his job is not on the line. You go 1-10 against anybody else, then you should be on your butt should be on the fire. On paper, he had the best. Once again, you can have the best. You can have the best team on paper, and then your coach cannot light a fire on you. You can have 17 Michael Jordans on your team, and your coach can defeat that, can lose that, because he's not coaching y'all up. He's not giving y'all the tools that y'all need to win games, to win these games. If your team is better than my team, the only common denominator is that I can beat you is by my coaching. If I'm coaching better than you, and I'm making this all about James Franklin, I know, because he's the coach of the Penn State Lions, and he supposed to have had the best team in the Big Ten, and he lost to one of the worst teams in the Big Ten. And he also lost the other day, the other game, which was worse than that. So you tell me who's the fault for the Nittany Lions losing these games? It's the coach. The players play. I know that some I give grief to the players too. The players need to take responsibility to this because you have to execute the game plan. And if you're not executing the game plan, then that's on you as a player. But as a coach, in no way I should have lost that game to UCLA 42-37. That game should have been a blowout because I have one of the top quarterbacks, unquote, in college to win that. Yeah, I'm blaming it on Drew Aller too because Drew Aller is the leader of that team. It stands from the coaches to your quarterback, and your quarterback is not playing well. The running game from Penn State is not doing great. You gave up 37 points to an unknown team in UCLA. So, yeah, James Franklin get it better. My concern most with Penn State is Drew Aller. It seems like he regressed. It really do seem like he only threw for 200 yards against a UCLA team that was giving up almost 600 yards a game. Come on now, Penn State. Y'all the Nittany Lions. Joe Paterno will be mad. He wrote Paul, unfortunately what Joe Paterno was supposed to, but, he'll be mad. He wrote it under his grave, rest in peace, Joe Paterno. Looking at these Nittany Lions losing to teams that they should be beating. It was once upon a time they said Penn State was a threat to Ohio State. A threat. Now I see Ohio State just thrashing them. And we play them in 2 weeks, I think. I think Ohio State will thrash them, but once again, maybe they will put a fire under James Franklin and Penn State. Like, okay, we have to play better now, or we have to really do good. But until then, I don't see it coming. I feel that Penn State is not the old Nittany Lions. They're not. They got soft somewhere down the line. They don't play as hard as they used to be, and that comes from your coaching. That comes from James Franklin. And I'm not calling out his manhood or anything like that. But come on, man. You have to get your players to play better than that. You cannot be 1-10 against Ohio State. You cannot be 4-21 against top 25 teams. You cannot be all of that and consider yourself a good coach. He's a good coach. He gets you where you need to get to, but he will never take the Nittany Lions to the promised land of winning national championships. If that's what you're about, winning national championship, then you need to go out and try to get you a coach who's about winning national championship. Franklin's about just getting there, which is there's nothing wrong with that. It's okay. But the Nittany Lions are known to win big games, and they haven't won big games yet. Hopefully, I don't like no fire on them against us because that would be messed up if they beat us. But hopefully, he's not listening. So, continue to be you, James Franklin. Continue to be you. Continue losing to UCLA and other teams. Right now, Ohio State got an Illinois team that is playing really, really well. But Penn State, y'all have to do better. Y'all have to beat the teams that y'all needed to beat. And when it came to Ohio State, then y'all should have played better. But I feel that Ohio State, I'm not going to say they're going to go beat them up, but they're going to win. We're going on to the next one. ML playoffs, how y'all feel about these divisional playoff rounds right now? I feel like the Blue Jays know how the Yankees play, and they are trying to keep them in the yard a little bit more. They're trying to make them a hit and run team, which is not happening. Guess what? Our old boy Shane Bieber is pitching. What, game 3? I think it's tonight or tomorrow night. I'm not. I had to look it up, but I apologize if don't quote me on that. But at least at least we still got one guardian in there since we got, dethroned by the Tigers. But it's cool. But we do have a guard in there pitching, which we traded. I bet if we had him, we'd have been all right. But The Blue Jays know how to play the Yankees because they won the division. The pitching staff on the Blue Jays are pitching real. Even though they gave us 7 runs, they scored 13, which they kept, the Yankees in the ball in the field. We always talk about how the Yankees, the only way they can beat you by hitting the long run, by getting man on base and then hitting no two or 3 run homers all game, which they wishes they could flip with Stanton and Judge. All they need to do is get on base, but the Blue Jays have stopped that so far. Blue Jays is up 2-0. Let's go Blue Jays. I can't stand the Yankees, so I'm glad the Blue Jays is winning. The next playoff division ground game I'm like is, but the Dodgers. I mean, I'm gonna stay in the AL. I'm gonna stay in the AL right now. The Dodgers. I mean, um, I having a brain fart. Oh man, my fault. On the Tigers and the Mariners. I apologize for that. Tigers and the Mariners. I feel that the Tigers are 1-1. The Mariners got their best pitcher, and they beat them in Scooble, so that was a good thing. But the Tigers did what they needed to do in Seattle. They came out with 1 win, which took them back to Detroit with 1 win. Now we can see how Flannery and all the other pitchers do. Let's see if the Mariners can come back and hit the ball well, because right now they're not hitting the ball as they usually do. The catcher is not really hitting really well, and Carl Rely. My MVP, I feel like he's gonna win the MVP. He hit 60 home runs this year. Had over 125 RBIs, which was a great year. This gonna basically come down who hit more in the clutch. I feel the Tigers, if they hit the ball well with Torres and Carpenter and all of them, it would be good for them. But they have this, once again, the Mariners are a home run hitting team. They got another dude who hit 49 home runs this year, and I cannot pronounce his name, so I'm not gonna try. But he hit 49 home runs this year, which you had 2 people who hit 60, and one hit 60 and one hit 49 in that lineup in Seattle. And your best pitcher is not going to pitch until the next 2 or 3 days. So Seattle got to come there, beat them in Detroit at least once to continue to have that home team advantage. Moving on to the National League, the Dodgers and the Phillies is the best one, I feel. The Dodgers right now, their pitching is if they gonna pitch Shohei Ohtani, I think they are. I think they pitched him in game 1, if I'm not mistaken, or if they gonna just let him back. I feel like they should pitch him because that's what he do. He's the best 2-way pitcher in the majors right now. But the Phillies is no joke. You got Kyle Schwarber, you got Bryce Harper, Turner. They can hit. They missed their best pitcher though. Unfortunately, Wheeler had to go on the DL with Tommy John. With Tommy John, is Tommy John, but he did. Other than that, the Phillies did well with that, coming back with the win the other night. So the Dodgers are the team. They're the most expensive team in the major. So they have to win. The Dodgers have to win. And there's no if. It's interesting that they didn't put Clayton Kershaw for his last game on this playoff roster. But on to the other one, Cubs versus Brewers. The Brewers and Cubs know each other. They play each other in the regular season. The Brewers won the division, but it's tied 1-1. The Cubs also beat them 7 out of 13. They won 7 games. They won 13 games out of 20. They beat the Brewers 13 times. So the Cubs are not scared of the Brewers. The Brewers have to play really, really well. Giannis and them have to really come out and play because the Cubs know. The Cubs shocked me. I thought they weren't going to get past the Padres, to be honest. I didn't know the Cubs was that good. They won 92 games. That's my fault. I should have researched a little bit more. If y'all lost money, my bad. But I thought the Padres was going to win because they had Manny Machado and Fernando Tatis. But the Cubs won that. The Brewers have to play well. They have to go ahead and get that taken care of. Get that win. Once again, the Cubs did what they needed to do. They won in Milwaukee. Now Milwaukee got to go down in Chicago, Wrigley Field, to see if they can win one. The Brewers have to come out swinging. They have to be patient at the plate because these pitchers are pitching really, really well in the division on these divisional rounds. Most all the time, pitching will make you win. Pitching will get you there. Pitching will also hurt you if you don't pitch well. But the backs of the Brewers have to wake up. The Cubs are hitting really, really well. It's good. My last words is this. I'm transitioning to my last. Thank y'all for this been a great time for me. I've been doing the show myself for 3 times. I have my ups and downs, but I am trying to grow. I appreciate that y'all are listening to me and Spivey and everybody that come on here. I'm grateful that I have this platform to talk to y'all about sports. And I know sometimes my takes get outrageous, but I like doing that. I like stirring up a little controversy, but that's just how I am. But it's cool. Thank y'all. You can watch me again Friday at 7 on EnDaZone Sports on the Diva Spivey Media Network. Also on YouTube. Everything is cool. Oh, my birthday was yesterday. I turned the big 50. Yeah, I'm getting up there. I'm old. Unfortunately, my daughter and my son said that too. So I have to take that. But thank y'all. I had a great time talking to y'all. It's been a pleasure. Thank y'all for commenting, hitting the like button, subscribe button. Don't forget that too. Always do your best. Y'all do great things. What LeBron said, strive for greatness. That's what we are trying to do over here on in the zone. Peace.
Like the Cavs, we gotta let them know. When God with a shield for me, when God with a shield for me, like the Cavs, we gotta let them know.
You are now locked in with Antoine Spivey. This is EnDaZone Sports.